Good afternoon. At this time, I would like to ask our IT professionals to start the audio tape recordings of the regular meeting and to admit any members of the public who have chosen to listen to this meeting online. And I'd like to pause for confirmation, please.
Recording in progress.
The public has been admitted and the recording is started.
All right, thank you. We heard that, and so thank you very much. My name is Dwayne Vaughn, and I serve as General Counsel and Assistant Secretary to the Housing Authority of the City of Atlanta, Georgia, also known as Atlanta Housing. Before the regular meeting is called to order, please consider the following announcements. We welcome the members of the public who have joined us in person at the Roosevelt Hall, located at 660 Atlanta Student Movement Boulevard Southwest, Atlanta, Georgia, 30314, for this regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners of Atlanta Housing. We also welcome members of the public who have joined this meeting via audio conference. There is also an option to view the meeting live streamed. Members of the public can find the link in the notices section on the Atlanta Housing website. The live streaming link is also contained on the Atlanta Housing Board docs. Please be advised that any members of the public who wish to address the board during the time of public comment period must have signed up on the public speaker sign-up sheet at the front door of the meeting room prior to the time the meeting is called to order, or have sent a comment by the time set in the notice for the meeting. A link to the meeting agenda, board resolutions, and presentation materials are available for review by the public by accessing the link on the Atlanta Housing website at www.atlantahousing.org/notices. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Oops, excuse me. All right, well, good morning, or good afternoon, everyone. My name is Larry Stewart. I'm Chair of the Board of Commissioners. We are pleased to have our Board of Commissioners meeting here at Roosevelt Hall. So I hope you guys, if you have not been here, take a look around. It's a beautiful facility. And so the first thing I want to do, so two things. First, we're going to move fast today. Got a celebration that we want to have, and so we would typically probably be a little bit more measured, but we're going to be moving fast. We got a couple of special guests, and so we want to make sure that all of that gets in what we have is a tight timeline. With that said, I do want to acknowledge our newest and welcome our newest commissioner, Tony Martin.
Thank you. Delighted to be here. And I wish to thank a lot of the officials for my being here, and my presence, and look forward to get things rolling. Thank you.
All right, love it. We look forward to your service, Commissioner Martin, and learning from you. So welcome. I'm now calling this regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners of the Housing Authority of the City of Atlanta, Georgia to order. Today is Wednesday, January 24, 2024, and the time is 2:02. Will the General Counsel take roll to determine quorum for the meeting?
Yes, sir. Commissioner Stewart. Here. Commissioner Kirsch.
Here.
Commissioner Alvarado.
Here.
Commissioner Elliott. Here. Commissioner Faruqi.
Present.
Commissioner Hooker.
Here.
Commissioner Martin.
Here.
There is a quorum.
The agenda has been presented to the board for review and comment. Are there any proposed changes to the agenda? Hearing none, may I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Second? Second. All right, I think it was so moved by Commissioner Alvarado and seconded by Commissioner Elliott, I think I heard. Is there any discussion? Hearing no further discussion, I will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye. 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 I think I heard all ayes, so the motion is carried.
The minutes of the regular Board of Commissioners meeting held on November 15, 2023 are before the board for review and comment. Are there any proposed corrections to the minutes of the regular Board of Commissioners meeting?
Hearing none, may I have a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting held on November 15, 2023? So moved. All right, may I have a second?
Second.
All right, so moved by Commissioner Elliott and seconded by Commissioner Kirsch. Is there any discussion related to the motion to approve the minutes of the November 15th, 2023 meeting? Hearing no discussion, I will call for the vote. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Hearing all ayes, the motion is carried. All right, so we are not, oh yeah, okay, this is the part where, all right, so we're gonna, I think we said we were gonna do this part after the, yes. So need, all right, so I have a motion to move up the resolution for the consent agenda up to now.
So moved.
All right.
Second.
All right, so moved by Commissioner Kirsch and seconded by Commissioner Faruqi. Is there any discussion? No discussion. I will call for a vote. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, we got all ayes, so the motion is carried. All right. At the Board of Commissioners September 22, 2021 meeting, the board approved a consent agenda protocol. There are 4 resolutions appearing below that receive unanimous votes of approval at the Board of Commissioners Real Estate Committee or Board of Commissioners Operations Committee held on January 17, 2024. The collective group of resolutions on the consent agenda will be approved by a single motion to adopt all resolutions and the affirmative majority vote of the Board of Commissioners. If discussion on any resolution or resolutions is desired by a commissioner, the commissioner must make that desire known to the board chair immediately following the reading of the consent agenda items, and the resolutions will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately, or at the discretion of the board chair. A discussion may occur prior to the vote on the consent agenda resolutions. Moreover, if a commissioner simply wants his or her vote to be specifically recorded on any particular item, separate votes may be taken on the resolutions. Will General Counsel identify the 4 resolutions on the consent agenda for the record?
Yes, sir. Resolution number 24-01. The Housing Authority of the City of Atlanta, Georgia seeks approval to revise business terms and complete the financial and acquisition closings of the developments known as 1, the Villas at Stonehogan, and 2, the Flats at Stonehogan, both located at 0 Continental Colony Parkway Southwest, Atlanta, Georgia. The second resolution, resolution number 24-02. The Housing Authority of the City of Atlanta, Georgia seeks authorization of revised business terms and to take all actions necessary to consummate the refinance closing of Columbia Senior Residences at Edgewood. The third resolution, resolution number 24-3. The Housing Authority of the City of Atlanta, Georgia seeks authorization to reconvey reversionary and vacant land that was part of the former Perry Home site for the purpose of homeownership development. And the last resolution, resolution number 24-4, the Housing Authority of the City of Atlanta, Georgia seeks authorization of revised deal terms and to take all actions necessary to consummate the closing of Englewood Phase 1B.
May I have a motion to consider, adopt, and approve the consent agenda containing resolutions 2401, 02, 03, and 04?
So moved.
All right, may I have a second?
Second.
All right, so moved by Commissioner Kirsch and seconded by Commissioner Hooker. Is there any discussion related to the consent agenda resolutions? All right, hearing nothing, I will call for a vote. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, the motion carries. While we're still going, maybe we will, I'll make a motion to move up the public comment. Do we have any public comment? Okay. Did you sign up for public? Okay. We got a few minutes. That's fine. All right. That means I need to move to move public comment up. All right, can I have a motion to move public comment up in the agenda? Thank you. All right, so moved by Commissioner Elliott and seconded by Commissioner Hooker. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I will call for a vote. I'll indicate moving up the public comment in the agenda. Indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right, the ayes have it. And so let's open up. Members of the public who wish to address the board signed up on the public speaker's sign-up sheet as they entered the meeting. Each speaker who has signed up will be called to the podium and will have 3 minutes to address the board. After those members of the public who are here to speak finish, we will read any questions received in advance via telephone or email. Have any members of the public signed up to speak? All right, come on to the podium.
After looking at the agenda and assuming that Terry would have been voted in. And I just want to say Happy New Year to all of you all. Mr. Eugene Jones, thank you for what you've done for Atlanta Housing and the people. And assuming that you get voted in, Terry, thank you so much for who you are, what you represent. And I love what you represent, what you stand for, and who you are. And I look forward to collaborating with you this year. So thank you. And Mr. Tony Martin, welcome. And like you said, I look forward to getting things rolling as well. Everyone have an amazing day.
All right, thank you. All right, so. Out of order, out of order. All right. We go ahead and, I think we only have one more, I think we have a resolution for the audit, but we can go ahead. But we'll just go ahead. You think we got? Okay, well, let's do the audit. Fair enough. All right, so I will I'll make a motion that we move up Resolution 2406 to next on the agenda. Have any, a motion? I mean, do we have anybody want to what am I? A motion? Yes, can I have a motion for that? I guess I proposed it. I didn't, yeah. I got your first. Anyone who wants a second?
Second.
Second. All right. So moved by Commissioner Faruqi and seconded by Commissioner Kirsch. All in favor of moving up 2406 in the agenda, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. The ayes have it. All right.
Before you is a copy of Resolution Number 2406, where the Housing Authority of the City of Atlanta, Georgia seeks authorization to amend the committee membership on all standing and special board committees.
May I have a motion to consider Resolution 2406? All right. May I have a second?
Second.
All right. So moved by Commissioner Faruqi, and I think I heard Commissioner Kirsch for a second. And so, Lisa, do you want to present?
On behalf of the chair, I'll do a brief presentation for item 2406. The Board of Commissioners has the authority under the amended and restated bylaws of Atlanta Housing to operate 2 standing board committees, the Operation Committee and the Audit Finance Committee, as well as 2 special committees established by the board, the Real Estate Committee and the Resident Engagement Relations Committee. With Resolution 2406, the chair hereby updates the membership of the 2 standing and 2 special board committees. The descriptions and details of the committees and the commissioner appointments, to the board committees are outlined on Exhibit 2406, but I will briefly summarize. The Operations Committee addresses matters such as operational developmental issues related to AH-owned and subsidized communities, resident subsidies, and the administrative functions of AH. The committee membership of the Operations Committee is Commissioner Stewart, Commissioner Alvarado, Commissioner Kirsch, and Commissioner Martin. Chairman Stewart will also chair the Operations Committee. The Audit Finance Committee addresses matters such as audit, budget, and financial reporting and oversight for AH. The committee membership of the Audit Finance Committee is Commissioner Faruqi, Commissioner Hooker, Commissioner Stewart, and Commissioner Faruqi will chair the Audit Finance Committee. For the special committees, the Real Estate Committee addresses matters such as real estate and affordable development, acquisition, disposition, development, construction, and rehabilitation and financing. The committee membership of the Real Estate Committee is Commissioners Kirsch, Elliott, Faruqi, Hooker, and Stewart, and Commissioner Kirsch will chair the Real Estate Committee. Finally, the Resident Engagement Relations Committee addresses matters such as resident policies, engagement, services delivery, and leadership opportunities. The committee membership of the Resident Engagement Relations Committee is Commissioner Elliott, Commissioner Alvarado, and Commissioner Martin. Commissioner Elliott will chair the Resident Engagement Relations Committee. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments by our commissioners? All right, hearing no further discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. All right, the ayes have it. The motion is carried. And this does not conclude our resolutions. We still have a couple of those left. Maybe we want to move the audit. Do you think that that's, all right, so we're doing this out of order today because we're waiting on a special guest here. So until he gets here, we're going to keep on rolling. So I will move, I think that's 2407, is that correct? 5. Yes, thank you. All right. So I will move, can I have a motion to move up Resolution 2405 in the agenda? All right. Second? All right. So moved by Commissioner Karuki and seconded by Commissioner Elliott. Hearing no further discussion, can I have I will ask for a vote. Please indicate your support by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, the ayes have it, motion is carried. And Ken, we are happy to hear from you today, sir, for the last time, maybe.
Last time.
All right.
So Commissioners, before Ken, let me read it into the record, if that's all right.
See?
Before you is a copy of Resolution Number 2405, where the Housing Authority of the City of Atlanta, Georgia, requests the board to acknowledge and report the independent auditor's report for fiscal years ending on June 30th, 2022 and June 30th, 2021, and the reports of the independent certified public accountants in accordance with government accounting standards and uniform guidance for the fiscal year ending on June 30th, 2022.
All right, Ken, you have the floor.
Motion? Okay, I've got it. Okay, good afternoon, Commissioners. Okay. Waiting for technology to catch up. No, not yet. We're supposed to have a Zoom on here. Here we go. All right.
I'm sorry.
sorry.
Mr. Chair, we need a motion in
Yeah.
a second on this.
So I thought we did the motion so we had a motion for the, so we need a motion to consider Resolution 2405. All right, second?
Second.
All right, so moved by Commissioner Elliott and seconded by Commissioner Kirsch. All those, hearing no further discussion, all those in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. The ayes have it, the motion is carried.
Okay.
Is that?
Thank you. I think we still need to hear from the auditors because they have something that they have to provide to the board. So,
Right. Yeah, that's, got it. Okay. All right. Good afternoon, Commissioners. As you know, I'm Ken Sudeikis. I'm the outgoing Chief Financial Officer, now the advisor to the new CFO, and you'll get to meet her at the next meeting. First of all, Commissioner Martin, welcome. We're going to hopefully take this quickly, but we've got technology on our side. I'm here to ask the Board of Commissioners to acknowledge and accept the FY23 Financial Report and Independent Auditors Report and reports of the Independent Certified Public Accounting in accordance with Government Audit Standards and Uniform Guidance Report for fiscal year 2023. Now, these reports were written by the accounting firm, reports were written by the accounting firm of Clifton Larson Allen, LLP, or CLA. And today we have with us in person Jamie Hinkemeyer of the Atlanta office, and via Zoom we have Gabby Miller who's assignment director for CLA. Gabby was a principal leader for CLA audit team, which included members of Jamie's staff. All right. The audit was physically conducted July 23rd, July 2023 through January 2024. Jamie will present a briefing on the audit and the opinions rendered by CLA, and both Jamie and Gabby will be available to answer any questions. We have copies of the reports available to commissioners if they so desire them today, or we'll provide them electronically after the meeting.
Excuse me,
Yep.
I see that our special guest is here, and so.
Okay, so we're going to get tabled.
Perhaps we can take this up after our special guest.
Okay? We're tabled?
So we'll table this for now. We will come back to you. Thanks, Ken, and special guests via Zoom. And we will now continue on the agenda. So let me roll myself back. So as everyone knows, we typically don't have this many people at our meetings, but we are excited about the next vote that we're going to have for our next president and CEO. The Executive Search Committee has advanced Terry Lee as a finalist for the position, and now the board will have the opportunity to vote on her. So we thank all of you for joining us on this special occasion, and we look forward to the consideration of this resolution. Will the General Counsel identify Resolution 2407 for the record?
Yes, sir. Before you is a copy of Resolution Number 2407, where the Housing Authority of the City of Atlanta, Georgia, seeks authorization to appoint finalist Terry M. Lee as Atlanta Housing's next President and Chief Executive Officer, and to enter into a 3-year employment agreement with Terry M. Lee and other related purposes.
All right, may I have a motion to consider Resolution 2407?
Second.
All right, so moved by Commissioner Elliott and seconded by Commissioner Faruqi. And so, I will actually ask my fellow Commissioner, Faruqi, to maybe give some words as it relates to this process. But we appointed Commissioner Faruqi. I think we also had, I saw Bill Bowling, myself, Commissioner Elliott, Matt Bronfman, Renee Glover, and Alan Ferguson, Sr., from Habitat for Humanity. We're all a part of a group that met over the last 3 to 4 months, scouring the country to find our next leader, and I think that we've done a great job with that. I will defer if you want to maybe just give a little bit about how we arrived at Terry.
Well, first of all, hello everyone. This is a great day. We're passing the baton from Jean, who has. Not for me. Yes, you are. Whether you like it or not, Jean, you do hold the baton for a few more minutes. So he's done a tremendous job. But just about the search, first I want to reiterate and support what Larry, our chair, said. I want to thank the people who are part of the search process. We had 3 commissioners, and then we had civic and business leaders supporting the effort. It was very competitive, and there were many people considered, which is why you should feel confident that Terry emerged as someone who was viewed as absolutely right for the job at this time. The mayor also had the benefit of meeting with and giving input to those that we surfaced through the process. And, this is why we are here today, to support Terry in this next phase of leadership. So thank you all for your input, for being here, for caring about Atlanta housing, and really look forward to her tenure.
Thank you, Commissioner Faruqi, and thank you for your leadership as the chair of our search committee. So with that, are there any other questions or comments by the commissioners before we take a vote? All right, that being said, I will call for a vote. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. Stop, Terry. The motion carries. And so So to mark this special occasion, and we are fortunate to have our mayor, Andre Dickens, at this meeting this afternoon, along with his colleagues. I see Lisa Benjamin, I see Courtney English. And so we invite the mayor to come and provide some comments about the appointment of Terry and the mayor's commitment to affordable housing in the city of Atlanta. Mayor Dickens.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Chairman Stewart, for allowing me this opportunity to speak before this great body of this board of directors and all of the public that is here in support of Atlanta housing and really supportive of the mission of making sure that we have housing affordability across the city of Atlanta. As all know, one of my major platforms and items of interest is affordable housing across the city of Atlanta. It is a top priority for this administration. I share that priority so much that my senior leadership are also involved in affordable housing and come from the affordable housing community, including Lisa Benjamin and Courtney English, just to name a few. And so to complete the package, we need great leadership. Gene, I thank you personally for your leadership, your stewardship, and righting the ship and moving us forward and getting us to where we are right now. You've been a great leader, a great partner in this, and one that we can depend on and call on. And so now, one, thank you sincerely for what you've done. And also, thank you to the leadership that was head of the search committee. That search went nationwide. You had a number of people present themselves and want this position. This is a coveted position. People from across the nation signed up places. Many of them have done great works across the country, and we want that. We need that across this country as I talk to mayors. And so they had an interest. Some were here, some are from afar, and they wanted an interest to lead what I think is the nation's best housing authority. And so we interviewed a lot of folks, and then you guys presented me a nice finalist list, and I talked to them and talked to them a number of times, and one of those candidates was Terry Lee. Of course, I've known Terry Lee since my time here in the city as a city council member, and as from 2013 running for city council to this very day, I've always been about a housing affordability, and one of the people that I've depended on, as well as I looked behind me for a glance, and I saw everybody that does anything affordable housing in the city back here, standing room only. I depend on these people to help me, but one of the people I depend on, even greatest among those in terms of folks I had to call upon, besides you, Dawn, is Terry. Terry, you stood out in your interviews. You stood out with your body of work that you've done before, your knowledge, of course, of Atlanta and, of course, of Atlanta housing. But the other thing that really stood out the most is this is just as much head work as heart work. So the mechanics of the position are always worth improving. You can do a fantastic job, and we're going to say even do a more stellar job. We want 10,000 units, and when you're at 9,999 units, someone's going to say that's still not enough. But throughout the whole process and the entire time I've known you, there's no question about your heart for service. No question about your heart for doing this work. No question about your integrity. You've been around many deals. You've been around many numerous evaluations, assessments, and movements across this city. Ethics, integrity, and heart are undeniable. And that's what we stand on as the senior leadership of this city. So when we stand together, we stand on sure ground with people who make quality decisions in the face of adversity and challenges. To develop and to preserve 10,000 units of the 20,000 I have declared that we need out of Atlanta housing, it's going to take the head and the heart and the team to be able to get that done. So now, as by this august body's unanimous decision to approve what my team has decided that you're the leader, and this august body has said, let's do it. Terry, let's do it. All right. We love you and we thank you. All right.
Well, I can't follow that with a whole lot, and I won't try. So I will just talk about what I know about Terry. I met Terry, so I used to be the chief of staff for then Councilman Dickens, and the first thing that he gave me was inclusionary zoning. And of course, that meant I needed to meet a lot of the people that are in this room, and of course, you. And the thing that I remember about that is not the work, the legislation, the community engagement. What I remember is that he said, I saw you give Andre a hug. And I was like, I want a hug like that. Everybody who's in this room knows what a Terry League hug feels like. And so every time I've seen you since then, I said, I want that hug. You know that. And what it represents is your heart. So, I mean, as the mayor said, your heart and your love for people is centered, right? It's what's centered in the strategic plan we've put together. You've been a part of many of the plans, but I know that your leadership is not in question, and your heart for people is what will drive that leadership. And so that's something that we took into consideration greatly, and why I'm very confident and proud to have you now as our president and CEO, and we look forward to doing the thing together. All right. Gene, do you have any comments?
Being here, Mayor. Thank you very much for your comments. I'm going to make this short, maybe. I want to tell the Board of Commissioners, thank you very much. You made a great decision. And I know it's a tough decision, but I think you're going to get the best, well, no. You're going to get one of the best president CEOs. Just teasing. You know, I can't say more about Terry than you guys know her longer than I have. But when I saw Terry over the city and I knew that I needed a COO, she was the first person that came to mind. I almost had to beg her to come, but she came willingly. I said, Terry, if you come over with me, I'll teach you everything about housing. I said, you'll be, and I've told her before, when we started this conversation, that she was going to be my successor. And I groomed her to be my successor. Not a replacement, but be my successor, to do the things that we know to do. As the mayor has said, the head and the heart. She's got a heart. She's got the biggest heart that I know of. And I think she's going to do you well. Just support her, love her, trust her, and she's going to do some great things for you. And I just appreciate you making that tough decision. I appreciate the staff. Now we have consistency, and I think you guys are going to grow, and you're just going to be better and better every day. And I appreciate the opportunity that was given to me to be the president CEO. I had a wonderful time. I have a great time. I'm still going to have a good time. I'm not retiring. I'm going to be around in housing as long as I can and just have some fun about it and not be responsible for shit anymore.
We need a 5-second delay on the so we can mute our very succinct former CEO. But now, so now let's give Terry Lee the opportunity to speak.
That's a good way to come in. Woo. Good afternoon. Mayor Dickens, thank you for just taking the time out of your busy schedule to be with us today. But more importantly, thank you for just being you. I've served several mayors, and I told Courtney on last Friday, this is a period of time where political words are really being matched by political will and resources. And it is one of the most exciting times to be in the city of Atlanta and to move forward with affordable housing. So I thank you for your leadership, I thank you for your guidance, and I thank you for your heart of service to the people of Atlanta. The mayor met with us, and you all remember, the mayor came to meet with us last October, and he said that at the end of his administration, that he would not apologize to the residents of this city because we didn't get things done. He said that. He said, my hands are in your back. He said, my hands are in Jean's back, and in turn, Jean's hands are in Terry's back. Well, what I will tell you is I accept that challenge. I am so grateful to stand before you today. I have special thanks to the search committee. Commissioner Faruqi, we've been together a long time. Commissioner Faruqi actually served as the Chief Operating Officer for the City of Atlanta when I served as Director of Housing and Deputy Commissioner. And so this seems like a full circle moment, but I do thank you for your leadership and your transparency and your fairness, not just for the search committee, but just throughout my career trajectory with you. To our chair, I am going to make you cry before I leave the podium. I thank you. I thank you, Chairman Stewart, for just continuing to push us to be different and push us to be innovative, push us to be creative, and really push us to that pathway to yes. You know, it's easy to say no. It's very hard to come with solutions and to come with a mindset that we want to make a difference and we want to do something different. To my entire Board of Commissioners, I'm here to serve with you. I'm grateful to each one of you. Each one of you brings something different to Atlanta housing, different and unique to Atlanta housing, and I am grateful to serve alongside you and to serve with you as we move forward and make Atlanta housing the best housing authority, not just in the country, but globally. I'm standing before you as the incoming 20th president and Chief Executive Officer of Atlanta Housing. And last night, I was a bundle of nerves, just to be honest with you. But I was reminded of Christmas time, right? So on Christmas Eve, I would be so excited. I would have, my brother and sister would take all the Christmas presents, but I would have a few gifts. And I would be so excited on Christmas Eve because I knew on Christmas morning I would have an opportunity to open my gifts. And the thing that I was reflecting on is, on Christmas morning, I was in a small town in Louisiana called Grambling, Louisiana. And Grambling, and I think it's some folks from Grambling, Louisiana here right now. But that shows you that love of that small town. That shows you the love of that small town. And what really, really resonated with me last night was that growing up in Grambling, Louisiana, we were a college town, home of Grambling State University. And there's a motto, I think some of them are here too. We travel in packs. But what really struck me was the motto, a place where everybody is somebody. And so I grew up, regardless of the economic means, the limited economic means of my family, I grew up believing I was somebody because I was in a town, I was in a place, I was with people where everybody was somebody. And so I understand what happens when you give a child a chance. I understand what equitable access means even before it became a popular term or a phrase. And I stand before you today to say at Atlanta Housing, we will be intentional about making sure that our families, our youth, people who depend on us will have a pathway to economic freedom. And we'll do that by using housing as the bedrock and the catalyst to do so. We will aggressively not just seek to meet the mayor's goal of 20,000, we will seek to be creative and be in the business of producing and preserving more affordable housing than this agency has seen in quite some time. And I know what I'm talking about because over the last 36 months, we've already done it. We've already exceeded what we've done in the last 10 years. We will take our Housing Choice Voucher Program and optimize it to a level where we literally use our housing assistance to not just stabilize families, but really join so many in the city in providing opportunities to house the unhoused, as well as make sure that we incentivize the private market to take their rightful place to help us solve this affordable housing crisis. And that's not it. That's not all. We are responsible for our elders. We are responsible for our seniors, our elders, who trust us, who believe in us to help them have decent, quality, and safe housing so that they can age in place. And that's our responsibility. And when you think about housing, I've already told you, many of you know my background. You know, come from Grambling, Louisiana, you know how I grew up, and I know what happens when a child doesn't have to worry about where they'll sleep at night. And so we will be intentional about making sure we wrap our arms around our families, take them to a different level of educational attainment, make sure they have workforce development opportunities, make sure they have life skills training so that we can truly, truly address economic mobility in this city. Now, I can't do that by myself. I am entrusted to be the leader, and I promise you I'm ready for the charge. But the team at Atlanta Housing, y'all are here, right? You all will stand up with me and make sure that we make Atlanta Housing the best it can be, but the best servants to our people that we can be. I thank you for your trust. I thank you for the opportunity, but more importantly, let's go. Thank you.
All right. I know the mayor has to run, so I will say thank you again, Mayor Dickens, for your unwavering support and on affordable housing and for our agency. And to his senior team, thank you guys for all joining us today. While we're waiting to get things settled and to pull back up the audit, I would just say that Terry's appointment is effective February 7th. So I want anybody to call her and ask her if she's going to take some time off from y'all before we get started. And so I just want to give that grace right now. And so thank you for the time. One other quick note. So you guys have seen the tents and all that stuff. So we will be having a reception after we finish. And so we'll finish this up shortly and get to eating some lunch and fellowshipping and celebrating Terry's appointment. All right. So what do I need to say in order to get us back to the audit? They just come back up? All right, so it's untabled. All right, so good. Gonna have to do any kind of appointment stuff. Ken, thank you for your patience and your indulgence. And we will now, and if you guys could just keep it down because we are still in the board meeting and we want to make sure that we hear about our audit. And you can hear about our audit too. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. And Jamie is still here, and hopefully we'll get Gabby back through the Zoom. But I don't want to hold things up because now we are basically the only thing between us and the celebration.
We can get started, and
Okay,
if
let's go ahead.
whenever Gabby joins, we can give her an opportunity.
That's
I think
fine.
Jamie was going to present today, so.
Go ahead, yes.
All right, thank you. Again, my name is Jamie Hinkmeyer. I'm with CLA. As a guest here today, it's pretty easy to see and sense and feel the power of the people and the passion behind it. So just wanted to identify the fact that we're just very proud to be partners of you all and very appreciate the opportunity to speak to the Board of Commissioners today. There is Gabby. So we just completed the audit process, and as part of that, there is some required communication to governance, and that's the primary goal here today. The agenda also includes definition of scope and responsibilities of parties. As part of, next slide, please, Gabby. Just to kind of highlight what is included within the scope of the audit. So you're seeing reference here. It's the typical financial statements. There's internal control report on compliance with major programs, internal control report on financial reporting, the governance communication I referenced, the REAC submission, data collection form, and the associated tax filings. We think there's value in just defining at a high level responsibilities of each party. So you have three groups collaborating: governance, which would be you all, management you're familiar with, and then us as the independent auditor. Just to highlight at the highest level, you all obviously are responsible for strategic direction, decision-making, accountability within the financial reporting. Management takes that leadership and they do day-to-day decisions. They're implementing, designing internal controls and accounting policies and making management decisions. Our role is to provide an opinion on the fair presentation of those financial statements, produce an audit that is in accordance with government accounting auditing standards. We're providing reasonable assurance, not absolute. And as part of our process, we're understanding internal controls and we're taking a risk-based audit approach. So the audit went well. We completed the testing of the programs specific to moving to work demonstration program. The single audit had no specific findings, and there was also no findings related to the financial statement. So at the high summarized level, we had a plan, we rolled out the plan, it was implemented, and there's nothing to bring to your attention related to findings. The last portion is the required governance communication. I'm going to highlight items here as well. There was no changes in terms of our plan scope, so as we proceeded through the audit. There were two standards that were implemented in the current year, SBITAs and leases. So these are new standards that impact the associated accounting. The first one relates to subscription-based software agreements, and the second is leases. We evaluated management's estimates, and we're comfortable with that based on the audit approach that we took. The significant estimates within your all's financial statements would be allowance for doubtful accounts, the fair value of investments, and depreciation. We noted no bias, no management bias associated with those estimates. We believe our disclosures within the financial statements are neutral, consistent, clear, and there's no omissions. We encountered no difficulties as part of our audit process, no disagreements with management, and there were no significant management consultations with other accounting firms outside of CPA to our knowledge. There was no audit adjustments and no uncorrected misstatements as well. So subject to your all's approval, the next steps would be the submission of the audited statements and also the data collection form submission to the Federal Audit Clearinghouse. Open to questions. One thing I just wanted to quickly mention, specific to Ken, who's celebrating his last meeting, I just want to say congratulations on that retirement. And then also just highlight how professional, effective, capable the team was interacting with us. We thought they were engaged and did a wonderful job as part of the audit process.
All right, any questions from the commissioners on what sounded like a clean audit?
Yeah, if I can just make a comment. One, I wanted, for the benefit of the public, for people to be aware, this was actually a first audit for this accounting firm supporting us. They were, fantastic in terms of being thorough and really hitting the ground running. As the audit and finance chair, I also had an opportunity to meet separately with the auditors and get their input and perspective. And want to congratulate you, Ken, in leaving the finance organization in such great shape. And the fact that, they took on a new relationship with auditors, it came out very clean. And, really the feedback has been extremely positive. So congratulations. This is a great way to exit as well, both in terms of the quality of the audit and the work you've done over the last few years and the talent and team that you have put in place. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Commissioner Faruqi. If I may, I want to say I was not responsible for the clean audit. It was the authority as a whole, and in particular, the finance team, some of which are here, but the whole authority had to participate because they looked at more than just our financial books. They looked at our internal controls and how we function as an agency, and we came out clean. And I'm very, very proud of that fact, but I'm proud of the team that made it happen. Thank you.
All right, well, we appreciate your service, leaving as clean as that bow tie. And so we are excited about hearing your next steps in your journey. And so we appreciate you, and you've left some big shoes to fill in your absence. With that, if there aren't any other discussion notes, I will call for the vote. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. The motion carries. And I think people have given their comments, but we keep on moving because we're all out of order. Yes, so there'll be no executive session. So with that, is there a report from our current but leaving, whether he likes it or not, President and CEO? No. All right, fair enough. Are there any remaining comments for today from any of our commissioners? Everybody wants to go eat. Last thing, I will just say I've already said all the other things. For the public, you guys are more than welcome to come back next month. We are always excited to see the public come and enjoy our board meetings. And so you're welcome to see it. Also on YouTube, we encourage you guys to participate. With that said, I will. Yeah, go ahead.
I just didn't want to end without thanking both our colleagues, Commissioner Faruqi, for leading a wonderful search and a thorough search process, and leading our chairman and thanking our chairman for managing all the complexity of all of this, as well as today's meeting. It seems simple, but there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes to make this happen. So thank you both for that.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. With that said, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? All right. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. All right. Our meeting is adjourned. The time is 2:50. Eat.